This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In this video, I'm going to be thrift flipping this incredible 80s style dress into something that is a little bit more my style and something that I actually would like to wear. I picked up this dress from a vintage shop in Melbourne a few months ago, and as soon as I saw it I had to try it on because this dress has so many amazing features that I love. The fabric is incredible. It's this really lovely kind of peachy toned ditzy floral print, and the fabric itself is very lightweight and has a really nice softness to it. This dress also has buttons all the way down the front, and it has a basque waist, I think that's what it's called, where it kind of dips in at the waist a little bit. I really love that style. When I tried the dress on, I was a little bit disappointed to see it was a bit too big for me, and it also just doesn't have much of a shape to it. It's quite a lot of fabric for one dress. Like the long sleeves and the long skirt is just a little bit too much, I think, and hopefully by adding just a few small changes to this dress I'll be able to turn it into something a lot nicer and much more my style. So first things first, even though I love the fact that this dress has buttons all the way down the front, I have to be honest, I don't love the original buttons on this dress, and there's also a button missing, so I start by removing all of the buttons from the dress. Next, I want to take up the waistline of this dress slightly as it just sits a little bit too low for my liking. So to do this, I start by removing the skirt from the bodice by cutting along the basque shaped waistline. And even though I'm a huge fan of a good sleeve on a dress, I also decided to cut the sleeves away from the bodice as well, which hopefully I won't regret later on. So now I have a completely separate bodice, and I'm going to take it in by a few centimeters to hopefully give it slightly more shape than the original. Next, I decided to trim the length of the bodice by a good 7 centimeters or so to make it a little bit less long on me, and I did this by marking 7 centimeters from the bottom edge of the bodice using a water erasable pen to ensure that I keep that unique basque waistline shape. Which, once trimmed, is sitting much more comfortably on my waistline. Next, I take the skirt I removed earlier and sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the top edge of the skirt like this. I then gently pull on the gathering stitches to gather up the fabric of the skirt until it's approximately the same size as the bodice. Then with right sides together, I pin the skirt back onto the bodice. I then stitch the skirt back in place, making sure to use the waistline of the bodice as a guide, so I'll definitely end up with that basque waistline feature. I then give the gathers a good press with my iron and overlock the raw edges. Now let's take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. You simply select from their range of beautifully designed templates, and you can change up the template as much or as little as you like to create your dream website. You can change everything from the overall layout of the website to all the fun things like the fonts and colors, and add everything you need to run your business successfully. What I love about Squarespace is not only does the website look amazing from the front end, it's also super organized and easy to use on the back end of the website as well. Basically, at the back end of the website, you can change everything up and customize your website with just a few clicks, as well as access all of your website's analytics, which for me, who has had a Squarespace website for nearly 7 years, I can access 7 years worth of analytics, which is just so fascinating to me. I love being able to compare how my website has been performing over the different years, and also be able to see what products are performing best at certain times of the year. All of these things are just really fascinating to know, and also really important to know to be able to run your business successfully. So if you'd like to try out Squarespace for yourself, then I totally recommend you head to squarespace.com and take advantage of their free trial so you can test out just how easy it is to make a website for yourself. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks so much, Squarespace, for being an amazing supporter of this channel, and let's get back to the thrift flip. Next, I take one of the removed sleeves from earlier and cut it open along the seam. I then remove the pleated detailing and any gathering on the sleeve so I have a completely flat piece of fabric. I then cut 2 strips of the fabric from the sleeves along the bias, and then use my bias binding maker to make 2 strips of bias binding, which is basically just a strip of fabric with the edges folded inwards. And I'm going to attach the bias binding to the raw edges of the sleeves to give them a nice finish. With right sides together, I pin and stitch the bias binding along the armhole edge, initially just stitching into that first folded crease line. Then once stitched in place, I fold and press the binding to the inside of the dress, pinning it in place as I press. I then stitch the now folded bias binding in place to enclose the raw edges of the armhole. Then all that's left to do is hand stitch some new buttons to the dress in the exact same position the old buttons were. And my thrift flip is complete. So, how does it compare to the original? I am so happy with this new and improved dress, and I can't quite believe how just a few small changes has made it so much more my style now. I also love styling this dress with a t-shirt or a turtleneck underneath with my Doc Martens for the ultimate 90s vibe. So I hope you enjoyed this super simple thrift flip and that it's inspired you to have a go at maybe changing up some of the items that you have in your wardrobe that you don't really wear that often. It's actually amazing how just a few simple changes can absolutely transform a garment and make it a lot more your style. I'm so excited to wear this dress during the summer months, especially with a pair of sandals. I think it's going to be so cute on those really hot days. Also, projects like this are such great beginner projects, especially if you're just starting out with sewing. I totally recommend you go to an op shop or a thrift shop, see if you can find some pieces that you like the overall look of, and just have some fun experimenting, because you can honestly learn so many different skills by doing these kinds of projects. And thrift flips just like this one were some of my first ever sewing projects, and yeah, I learnt a lot through them, so I totally recommend you give it a go if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed on where to start when it comes to sewing. If you enjoyed this video, then it would really mean a lot to me if you could give it a like, and make sure you subscribe to this channel for more sewing videos like this one. Have a lovely day, and thanks for watching.